Good afternoon everyone, Daniel here from Single Malt Jack and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about how we're going to barbecue on charcoal a tomahawk steak. Okay, we've got a 1 kilo steak, so I'm going to take you through how we're going to prep it. We'll do that in the kitchen. We'll marinate it, let it sit for a bit, then we're going to get the charcoal barbecue started, run you through some charcoal techniques and some wood that we can use for smoking as well. And then we're going to put it on the charcoal and then we're going to see how it turns out after that. So stay tuned. I'm just going to pour myself a beer. I've got a Monkey Tree Pale Ale here on tap, so I just want to test it out while we do our review and see how we go. So barbecue Sundays, what we've got here is a prime cut of beef rib fillet. Okay, it's on the bone. It's basically called a tomahawk steak. So as you can see, it's a kilo of it. I don't usually get bones this big because it's basically the whole rib bone on the steak as well, as you can see there. So it's a kilo. This is where your eye fillet is here, and then you've got the rib there. Usually I just get the cattleman's cutlets, which has just got a shorter basically bone on there. But I find if you're going to be entertaining or you've got a few people coming over, whatever the case might be, I think it's quite nice to have a couple of these steaks that you can whack on the barbecue. So we're just going to marinate these now and I'll run you through how we're going to do that. I like to just keep it super simple. So while I'm talking, I'm just going to drizzle some olive oil over this, try and get some first cut pressed virgin olive oil and basically you just want to take the steak, whatever steak you've got it that you're going to be barbecuing, you want to take it out of the fridge for a little bit. Okay, so you essentially just want to let it rest, almost down to room temperature, maybe 10 or 20 minutes. I've let this one rest. Make sure you wash your hands before you do this. Give it a nice generous coat of oil. Also what I want to do is just make a nice little mix here of basically Himalayan sea salt, or you can use salt flakes, and pepper. So I just like to keep it super simple, super basic. I just want to take that and then just put it all over the steak. Okay. Now you want to get into all the different areas, get it in on the sides, on the top, onto the rib bone, flip it upside down. And because this steak is so thick, it can take quite a generous coating of salt and pepper. Okay, so you just want to get it all on there the whole way up and down. Don't be too scared. We're just getting this prepped for the barbecue. So best way to do something like this is to do it on the charcoal barbecue. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go outside and start prepping the barbecue so that we can get this thing on. We're just going to let this rest, let the salt and the pepper and the olive oil soak in. We'll get the barbecue started and then we're going to get that straight on the coals. Lighting up the barbecue here, so as you can see in there, I've got charcoal in the bottom. We've got the apple, the oak, a bit of red gum in there, and then just some fire starters. So try and keep it as natural as possible. What I typically like to do is really just start the fire in the bottom of the barbecue. I don't think there's a need to get the charcoal going. I usually just light this, let that go for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and then we'll put the steaks on. So this is the brand new barbecue here, guys. I haven't shown it to you before because we've just started, but I'll put the lid down super quick. But essentially it's a Pit Boss Komado style barbecue, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's worth every single cent that I've spent on it. I've used this thing a couple of dozen times now. It's only about a month old, and to be honest, it just cooks everything. You can do everything in this. Okay, so a little bit of a tip, guys, regarding the charcoal. So I'd recommend using lump wood charcoal instead of your usual heat beads. So basically what it is, if you have a look in here, essentially it's just hardwood that's been dried, all the moisture and water taken out of it, and basically you see just black lumps of hardwood, and they call it hardwood charcoal. Find this burns a lot longer and a lot hotter than your normal heat beads, and sometimes your heat beads gives you that sort of weird kerosene style flavour where these ones don't. So that's one hot tip there. So another one of my tip, guys, is what I like to try and add in terms of flavour profile to the barbecues is trying to chop up a bit of timber for flavour. So I've got the axe out here, I've got some apple wood, I've got a little bit of oak, and I've also got some hardwood, some red gum. So a bit of a mix of things, adds a little bit more flavour and smoke and things like that to your charcoal barbecues. So just another little tip for you. Our fire's rearing to go. Let that burn out for about 20-30 minutes, and then our tomahawk's going to go straight on the grill. Stay tuned. We're almost up to temp, so as soon as this hits 250 degrees C, we're going to put this steak on. Pop the lid, got the grill in there. Those coals are looking absolutely fantastic. So let's get this steak on and let's get cooking. Alright, let's get this steak on the barbecue. It's about time. On there, lid goes down. Should be cooking at about 250 degrees on the coals. Keep you guys updated. See how this thing's looking. Ooh, nice, perfect. Don't be too scared to, you're not going to burn this thing because it's so thick. You really just want to get the heat into it, and you want the insides to be really nice and medium rare to medium is my liking. So really get the outside nice and crispy. Alright, this thing's looking pretty good actually. Just checking both sides. Yeah, look at that. That's going to be just on medium, I think, or just under medium. Or maybe even between medium rare and medium, I think. So let's pull that bad boy off. Let it rest for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll slice it up and have a bit of a look. Now I'm just cooking some mushrooms now on the charcoal. Got these going in the fry pan, so these are going to be ready in a couple of minutes, I guess. Let me finish my beer. That'll be done in another few minutes. I think that was only my second one, could have been my third, can't quite remember. But this steak's been resting for, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. 2 or 3 beers ago. I can't remember exactly the time, but look, hoping this is going to be ready to go. So I'm just going to start slicing this up. I really enjoy my steak medium. I don't like it too rare, so probably a little bit too overdone for some of you guys out there, but for me it's just absolutely perfect. I like it. Just a little bit of blood on there. You know, these tomahawks are quite thick, so it can be quite easy to underdo them a little bit. But for me and my taste, that's just fantastic. This is exactly how we like it. And you've also got just a little bit of meat along that bone there, so you can sort of just cut that down the bone. That is a little bit tougher. It's not as nice as the ribeye part of it, but You know, that's just going to be fantastic. Fantastic bit of meat there. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed our barbecue. I'm just going to sit here by the fire for a little bit, finish off my whiskey. If you liked it, like and subscribe, and we'll be back next week for another video. Stay tuned. Cheers.